Right, just because I know a few of you are sat waiting, we're just waiting on changing the host to someone else because it's automatically assigned it to someone who doesn't usually set up the lobbies, and we're just make sure that everything is set up correctly in the lobby, so it can be set up properly in terms of regulations, and then we'll go. Right, finally readying up. Right, finally loading in. Fantastic. Okie dokie. Oh, good, it's raining.
Okay, with conditions as they are, I'd suggest you take a set of full wets.
Right, so same setup again. However, let's dump a load of fuel. Well, actually, let's keep a bit of fuel in if it's wet. I can't put any more wing on because it's already full. I can't really change the tyres either. Right, okay, so we're going as it is. This is not going to be entertaining doing it in wet. So we have tier 2, which we've just raced. I managed to get my new record at 16.4 in dry conditions. Now this is going to be a good 12 to 15 seconds off at least, absolute minimum, because it's wet. And then crashed out on lap 30 or 35 because I went wheel to wheel with someone. Then they came back at me, and yeah, I ran out of road. So hopefully in this one it'll be a little bit more sustainable, and those last 5 laps we'll actually see at the checkered flag. Let's see how we get on. I didn't really want to be in traffic either, so I'm just going to back off a little bit because I want to find out where my braking points are before I hit a qualifying lap. I'm not the best in the wet either, so I'm quite glad it's a dry race. trying to warm the tyres up doesn't work because you weave a little bit and well, your car just disappears. Should be alright in the dry session in the race, but I think the wet's going to be quite a challenge. I really want these guys to get on with it though, because like I think I'm actually faster than some of these in the wet. That's not how to start a fast lap, but hey ho. McLaren off already. Sector 2. Whoops. I'll let him go through because I've just invalidated my lap. Okay, now. I think Diogo, like me, was just trying to get out of the way of people there. Alright, let's go again, try and get a lap on the board this time. Better exit off the last than first attempt, so definitely allow. Just got to keep in track limits, get this banker lap in. Well, it isn't really a banker lap, it could well be the fastest because the wet conditions are absolutely horrible to race in. Oh, there's so much traffic. Keeping well off the line though, so good for them. Oh, car in a barrier there. Car off that side. Ah! Oh, really? I'll let that car through quick because it's a horrible part of the track to try and let a car through. Can't get out of the way in the S's. It's not easy to do. There's always one that says get out of the way in the S's. It's not actually the easiest area to get out of the way of someone. Right, we'll go again. Advantages of wet tyres. You can just run and run and run and run and run. And they'll still be as quick as they are when they're fresh. Sometimes they're actually better when they're worn in. But we've only got 3 laps of fuel left, so we'll just try and get a valid lap in that. We'll go in, get the other set of wet tyres on, off we go. And be so gentle with the throttle. Kick of oversteer there.
we've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Yeah, definitely a lot of time left in that middle sector, but yeah, at least we're looking like we should get a valid lap time on the board for now. Yeah, 31.4, we're on the board, but yeah, it can definitely go quicker. I'm going to push on this lap. If we're green at the end, when we get towards the end of the lap, I'll finish the lap. If not, we'll jump into pits. Because fuel, obviously, getting a bit marginal.
Is getting lighter now, but it's going to take a while for the track to dry out.
Definitely finish that lap off. It jumps up a few. Wow, jumps up halfway up the grid. Right, we'll box this lap. We haven't got enough fuel.
We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
And I might sit in the pits till the very end now, and then just do a run on the intermediate tyres for a bit of fun, because it did say track's now going to dry up a little bit. But how much I don't know. I don't know whether it will get to intermediates, but it's worth a shot. I don't think I can go any faster on wets. I don't really have the confidence in my setup to do that. Oh, I nearly wiped myself out of qualifying there. Good back end slip there. And again through the chicane. Yeah, it might be a little bit more tentative through the S's with the intermediate tyre, but on the straight, so it'll definitely be quicker. We're in a couple of laps time, so we'll just see if anyone else goes out on the inters with about 4 or 5 minutes to go in the session. 7.5 minutes left in the session at the minute, so we'll keep an eye on it, and yeah, then we'll go back out in a bit. For now though, what we're P7 at the minute, and a 30.7, yeah, I'm quite happy with that, to be fair, for a wet lap. Seems I'm not actually very good in the wet. We'll have a look at what other times people are posting, how close it is as well. So normally it's 1 or 2 that are really good in the wet and everyone else isn't, so.
Recommend taking the wet tyres in the current conditions?
I had a 29.7. Actually, I'm only a second off, which for me in the wet is pretty decent. I'm quite surprised I'm that close. Tight little battle there in the middle, where I'm 0.02 of a second quicker than Dynamic, and 0.12 of a second slower than Gaga. Right, okay, yeah, that is pretty damn tight in the midfield there then. And I mean, within a 1/10 of a second, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cars within 5 cars in that 1/10 of a second, 6 cars in that 1/10 of a second, 7. So 7 cars split by 0.11 of a second. That's ridiculous. It is going to be so close. Thankfully, I'm at the head end at the minute, but it does mean I can also easily lose a lot of slots when it comes down to it. And there's a few on laps at the minute. I want to see if anyone actually goes out on the inters or not and braves it.
Okay, some quick lap times are now being posted. It's getting faster out there.
Oh, right, he's out on inters. So let's just ride on board with him, see how he gets on. Maybe it's a little bit early for inters, but if he gets on alright, I might leave it as late as possible and go out, maybe fuel up to do 2 runs back to back. But he does seem to be hooking it up at the minute. Yeah, it's track limits, but is he the only one out there on? Oh, it's another. Who's that on inters there? TTC, right? He's struggling. I don't know, it might get to inters. Just. I think we're going to set to inters. We've got 5 minutes left to go. We'll fuel up for 2 runs. In fact, we've got fuel for 2 runs. I'll go out a little bit lighter, I think, on fuel. Has anyone actually posted a time on the inters yet? No. See, all these that are out at the minute then are actually on.
Okay, with conditions as they are, I'd suggest you take a set of full wets.
I want to see what the first inter time goes on as. Whether it's quicker or not. He's on an outlap still. There was someone else on inters, but I think they might bot. It's just rated out there on inters. Let's just see if he boxes or whether he stays out. Whereabouts is he? I was only at the chicane at the minute. That delta's coming down. Every time you flick to it, so the lap delta at the bottom is 0, and that's 1.8. Quicker. 1.85, 1.84. I think we're going to head out tentatively on these intermediate tyres and go for a lap. But we've got enough to do 2 laps.
Tweak with negative camber or toe-in can also help with this. Track is wet right now.
Let's see, there's a few heading out. Nathaniel's gone out on inters, Callum's gone out on inters, I've gone out on inters. So there's a few heading out now on the intermediate tyre. So yeah, definitely the right choice to be heading out on, although it's going to be an absolute horror trying to get around on this first particular lap while it is still really wet. Actually, time-wise, yeah. So we should get 2 laps. Just. No, might not actually. We'll see. When we cross the line, we need over a minute and a half. Really. Oh, it feels so much quicker already. Yeah, ideally we need 1 minute 30 on the clock when we cross the line. We're not going to have it, so we're only getting 1 shot of this. If I came out about 10 seconds earlier, 15 seconds earlier, would have got. Oh, I might get 2 shots, depending on how quick the lap is. If the lap's about 126. 127. It's going to be near 28, isn't it? Really? Maybe even a 29 still, because it's still wet. Might just get 2 shots of this, but it will mean doing 2 back-to-back laps. No, I'm not going to get 2 shots of this because I'm not going to do a 125 lap, sub 125. So this is the only shot we're getting on the inters. Surprised that car's coming out of the pits now because it's going to be too late to actually get a lap in by the time it gets around on its outlap. And in fact, we're not improving, and we've invalidated.
Left in the session.
Oh, I'm gutted because it was that time delta was coming down. Trying to find the fastest way to the line. I'm not going to do it in that time, sadly. Just missing out on a lap on that tyre then. Bugger. I was literally about 10 seconds too late, which is what I thought I was, and that would have been a damn sight quicker, so there's going to be a lot of people jump me now. Because my fastest lap was on the wet tyre, and I didn't get that valid lap in. If I had of, it would have been definitely quicker. Right, who's out there behind me? Dynamic. He's on a lap. He's looking invalid, is what he's looking actually, now I've just said that. No, he's valid. What? Really? And he's doing personal best, so he's probably going to improve to go in front. Callum can't improve. Astronix is invalidated, so he's going to start behind me. He's invalidated, and he is improving in sector 2. Dynamic will be coming across the line now, hasn't improved. So the only person to jump me really, because he's invalidated, is Albo, if he can put a lap together validly, and he's valid at the minute, and he's green at the minute. But he hasn't actually set a lap time, so I don't know, it does look quite slow. But sometimes slow is quick on the wet. No, I think that's too slow maybe, is it? Yeah, it's not as quick, by a second slower. Cool, I'm in top 10 again. I'm happy with that, that's considering I'm a tier 2 driver and that's tier 1. Right, race time, take 2. Let's actually try and finish this one, shall we? Right, come on then. Please, 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 please be a clean race. One stop or aggressive 2 stop? I tried 1 stop earlier and it actually worked. It was working out quite well, but I'm going to plan in for safety cars. And the other advantage I've got is I didn't change my setup for the wet qualifying session, so it's already ready to go. There's not much you can change between sessions, only brake balance, your differential and front wing. So leave it to be. Here we go. Formation lap first though. Hang on, no formation lap, shit. That was naughty. I'm going to get sandwiched. I'm really going to get sandwiched. Yeah, I was going to say there's Aston Martin there somewhere. I'm still getting sandwiched. I'm still getting sandwiched. I'm getting sandwiched. I'm ready. I'm out.
What happened? Let me know you're okay.
Wow, that ended quickly. I would love to see a replay of that. Someone completely wedged me there. Whoever was coming up the inside should not have been there when I was against that right. Yeah, safety cars out. That's not a surprise. Is that 3 cars out? Oh no, the yellow dot's the safety car. Well, that ended quickly. Wasn't expecting that. Sorry, guys that are watching. Not a hell of a lot I could have done, right? Another one out, another 2 out since I've crashed out. There's another 2 gone out, and that's under safety car. Right, okay, interesting. So I want to see what penalties have been given. Yeah, what are those penalties there? 5 seconds for Deborah and 5 seconds for Joby. Who hit who? I'm guessing they've had the contacts with Grobs and May. Hey ho, right. Well, that's going to be the shortest stream I've ever done. But hey ho. Right, those watching, catch me again tomorrow for commentary for DFRL and Tuesday driving for Shadow Wolf, which is the league that I organised. So yeah, hopefully have a good one then. See you later.